My guest today is Caroline Das-Monfray. She recently joined FTI, August of this year, with the title of Chief Strategy Officer. Before then, she spent 20 successful years working in roles for the Big Four, more recently in strategy roles, and she's joining us today to talk about being an effective game changer. First obvious question, Caroline, you have this title of strategy officer, and yet you have, in GC Index terms, a very strong game changer profile. What's the difference between being a game changer and being a strategist? How do you see that?
I've never really thought of myself as a game changer before taking the GC Index. What I have observed, though, is that strategy has evolved. Strategy as a discipline has evolved. And if you think about strategy in terms of impact on the organizations you work with, I think it's important to recognize that in a digital environment, historical models don't necessarily help you predict the future. And so to be successful, you now need a combination of data and structure, as well as ideas, creative thinking, and problem solving. And I think that's a really good opportunity for people who score high on the kind of the creativity and imagination dimension, because you really need to think about how you connect dots and think about opportunities that might not have existed before. I very much see my strategy role as an enablement function. My role is to ensure that the organization I work with, whether it is kind of within my business or with clients, helps the stakeholders I work with be successful.
So when you looked at your profile, your GC Index profile, and you saw this game changer aspect of it, what actually resonated for you in that? What made you think, actually, yes, maybe that is me?
When I started my career, strategy was very much about looking at the past and then using models and predictive analytics to chart kind of courses for the future.
Yes.
I think that the world has changed, and in a digital environment, we're now seeing strategies that are driven by different types of predictions, and actually the creativity dimension and the ability to imagine possibilities is now stronger than it used to be. And that has actually helped my career a lot. I've had to adapt my style in the beginning to really perhaps think about how I might be more structured or more linear in the way I do my work.
That traditional
kind of strategy side. I think when you have that kind of inner creativity, when you see possibilities everywhere, it's easy to get excited about it. It's easy to want to share a lot of these kind of options, and you know, if you're a game changer, you probably enjoy the debate and the tension between some of these concepts. Actually, to get things done in an organization, whether it be within the organization or with clients, you really need to think about how you're going to communicate some of these ideas, some of these requirements, some of these questions to different types. Not everyone fits in the game changer model of the GC Index. And so if I think about the way I've had to work with implementers or polishers or strategists, there really is a need to unpick some of these elements. You probably see hundreds of thousands of possibilities and ways of doing things, and it's easy to want to test these ideas, bounce these ideas of others, but actually if the person in front of you is a strategist, they're not going to engage in that conversation. The other dimension is, what am I trying to achieve? The kind of layer on top of that is, who do I need to have on board? Who do I need to influence? Who do I need to work with? Who are my stakeholders? And then the last kind of element is what impact I'm trying to create. So I try to stay with that a little bit before I engage everybody around some of my ideas. There will be a number of ideas, a number of options, a number of exciting discussions that will never make it to the conversation, and that's okay.
That theme is interesting, of knowing that you have to let go of some ideas, because we know almost by definition that there's an obsessive quality in game changers, which means sometimes it's tough to let go, but you've learned to do that.
The key learning for me was to empower people around me to challenge me. I mean, I'll give you an example. I had someone in my team last year who worked with me for a long time, and we were very good at working together. And he had permission to tell me this goes in the good ideas bucket. You know, I had to say to him,
Yes.
I have a tendency to come up with 10 different ways of solving one thing, but once we've made a decision, let's kind of park those good ideas for later.
Yes. It was not, yes.
And he was very good at capturing them and bringing them back
Yes.
later on when there was an opportunity to do so, but in a structured way.
So you've learned as a game changer how to thrive in a corporate setting, because the risk, I think, inherent in that learning is that game changers can overwhelm people with possibilities. There is a structure and an order that you've brought to that process of engaging and sharing and influencing. Caroline, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, John.